Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 28th, 2017, and today is Tuesday morning. So let's look at the economic events of the day starting at 10 a.m. South African time. We have two UK numbers coming out, bank stress test coming out, results at 10 a.m. And then at 10:30, we have Governor Carney will be speaking out of Great Britain, and that should affect the GBP. Then in the afternoon, we have a couple of US numbers, starting out with a consumer confidence number coming out at 6 p.m. South African time, which is a very important number. And then later in the evening, we have Treasury Secretary Mnuchin will be speaking at 11:45. So these are high impact numbers that may potentially move the markets today, but the most important one is really the consumer confidence one that's coming out of the United States. In view of the fact that we are in the midst of the holiday season, shopping spree season, and the markets are very consumer conscious. So let's see what's been happening in the markets in general though. So we're looking here at the Euro USD, and we're seeing that it had a correctional move yesterday from 119.47 down to 119 flat. Okay, that's an important number and potentially a nice support for the Euro USD. Now, looking historically what's been happening in the Euro USD, we're looking at a daily chart here. We rallied from 106-ish level from April up to 121-ish level in September, and now we've retraced and we're making back some of that retracement. Okay, so over the past few weeks or less than a few weeks, we've rallied over 400 pips, which is a beautiful rally for the Euro USD. And we mentioned yesterday that we had a upside down head and shoulders formation, and now we just have to carry this. Okay, this has to hold this line at 119. We have a support level of 118.80-ish level, but on the upside, you're looking for it to continue this nice rally that it sustained. Now, looking at the GBP USD, however, it has not rallied up, okay, and stayed stagnant at 133, showing us some relative weakness versus the US dollar. Okay, so more importantly is all these news that's coming out of Great Britain, how it's going to impact the British pound. We may play catch up to the Euro USD, or we may retrace again at these levels. Okay, so I don't see this as a major breakout versus the dollar, even though it's above my support line, because it's really still should be carrying further vis-a-vis the dollar. Now, looking at the USD ZAR, the rand got much stronger, as you can see here, down from 14 to down to 13.73 versus the USD. That's great news for South Africans, as the rand has been, almost at 14.57 in a very short period of time. Now, this is also related to the JSE getting much stronger, and the price of gold getting stronger as well. So we got to keep an eye on that as well. Let's take a look at that as well. Looking at gold here, we're at resistance, but we're closing above this resistance level, and this is what I mean vis-a-vis the GBP. We're above this resistance line at 1293, and we're looking like we want to take this higher. Okay, and I'm much more inclined to think that we're going to take this higher. It just has to maintain this support line. Okay, as long as it maintains this support line, I still think that we can take this higher this week, so keep an eye on that. Now, oil numbers coming out tomorrow, and we retraced nicely from $59 a barrel down to $57.74. Now, remember, looking at a weekly chart, okay, our highs are 61.20. Okay, so this still has some room on the upside to rally. So keep this on your radar for the week. Looking at the Dow Jones, pretty much flatlining at 23,553. We had a high of 23,600 this past week, and as you can see, from Friday's rally, we've sold off a little bit, but nothing really proportional to where we're how much we've rallied over the year. So I'm still inclined to think that this is going to go higher. We're making mildly higher lows. Okay, it looks like it's waiting for some sort of impetus, maybe consumer confidence, maybe some positive news in the market, but the markets are generally moving higher. So my thought process is still long, my thought process is still bullish, but you just got to keep an eye on it before it does take off, so that you can start building a position. So I would suggest building your position slowly, tiering in maybe the first tier here, seeing if it's following through, and then building that position on the upside. Looking at the DAX, still a little bit weak at 13,000, not really rallying. We had a little bit of a uptick yesterday, but nothing really to write home about. Where this is a little bit disconcerting vis-a-vis the Dow Jones. Looking at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, we sold off a little bit. I still think that we're bullish here. not writing this off. We've had a couple of times that we've sold off and then we've rallied right afterwards. This might be actually a good spot to pick it up on the long side. Again, just tier in, don't go full throttle. But ultimately we are in a time of year that things are very bullish. So keep an eye on that and think bullish. This is Fred Razak. Wish you a great day. Thank you.